here we go.
Hey, Aaron.
Howdy, comrade. How's it
What's
going?
going on?
Another day in the life?
Yeah, well, we have another session. It's a really nice session.
Yes, indeed.
It's a good week to be talking about the anti-fascist struggle.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a merciless, pitiful murder of 8 people, 7 of them Asian women.
Mm-hmm. It's very tragic and kind of shows the intersection of a lot of the problems we're seeing. Like
the white Christian guy saying, "Excuse me, I have a sex addiction."
Yeah.
I'm a heterosexual man and I have a sex addiction. So let me go kill some women.
Yeah, it's really tragic that this happened. My heart goes out to the folks in Atlanta and solidarity to the Asian community, the sex worker community, and all those affected by this act of terrorizing violence.
So on top of that, we have the 17 billion anti-voter rights legislations coming up in 17 billion states.
Yeah.
And the Democrats in a flap about how they're going to do that.
Yeah, how they're going to fight it.
But they could shut down the filibuster and go. And
yeah,
they're falling all over themselves trying to figure out whether to do that or not. Duh.
Yeah. I recognize the limits of electoralism, but I could definitely tell that like stopping the GOP from getting these laws passed would be a good thing to prevent fascism from taking hold in this country.
Yeah. That's clearly the intent. The Republican Party has lost track of any kind of democracy, and it's clear that they want to institute an autocracy and dump democracy.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way they can do that is to suppress the votes of people of color.
Yeah. It's the only way that their ideas can get any purchase in this country.
So it's a sad week, but it's a happy week too, because there is a lot of pushback going on.
Yeah.
And we're joining it, doing this concert.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's do the concert.
All right. You want me to introduce you now?
I think I do.
All right. Folks, I have the honor of presenting our first act for today's Anti-Fascist concert series. The first out gay country band that we know of. Lavender Country released their self-titled LP in 1973 as a project that was equal parts artistic and political. In the last 20 years, the band has seen a resurgence as the music became available online, inspiring LGBTQ folks around the world. And without any further ado, my friend, my co-host and co-producer of this show, Lavender Country. Take it away, Patrick.
We're talking about a copper miners' strike. Utah, 1912, and a labor organizer named Joe Hill. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you or me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years in. I never died, said he. I never died, said he. The copper bosses killed you, Joe. They shot you, Joe, says I. Takes more than guns to kill a man, said Joe. I didn't die, said Joe, I didn't die. And standing there as big as life, and smiling with his eyes, the man that they could never kill went on to organize, went on to organize. Somebody got shot. They pinned it on Joe. They took Joe to the judge. The judge said, "Where were you that night, Joe?" Joe said, "I was with a lady." The judge said, "What lady?" Joe said, "I would never besmirch a lady's honor by telling you her name." The judge said, "Okay, we're going to take you out in the backyard and shoot you." President Wilson intervened and pardoned Joe. And the state of Utah said, "Buzz off, Prez, we're going to shoot him anyway." And they hauled him out in the backyard and they put a bullet in his head. From San Diego up to Maine, in every mine and mill, where working folks defend their rights, it's there you'll find Joe Hill. Yes, there you'll find Joe Hill. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you or me. Says, "I've Joe, you're 10 years dead." "I never died," said he. "I never died," said he. That's where you'll find Joe Hill. Nothing left at home, interior recesses roll, and a trade MOD trays for a good way of negligence. We all come out, my dears, to Lavender Country. Y'all come out and make yourselves at home. It don't matter here, we don't know what you wear. We don't care who's got which chromosome. Get them down to them, get out and still spell. Get yourself some damn lemons and a beer of water for them. And they all come out, my dears. Lavender Country, don't you bother about your sissy ways. When you wear your pretty blouse to the people's outhouse, folks will hang around and be today. So y'all come out, my dears. Lavender Country, y'all come out, make yourself at home. It don't matter here, we don't know what you wear. We don't care who's got what chromosome. Listen up, pushy women who lie. Unions, innocent, and strikers.
Mr. Lawrence, Dave Harding, Jordan like somebody. Who your heart at 69 to Lavender Country. That's where we see women want to be. That's where every Susanna rides the Queen of Anna. There's lesbians on every bush and tree.
So y'all come out, like it's Lavender Country. Y'all come out, make yourself at home. It don't matter if you love or what you wear. We don't care who's got what growing on. Would you like to be a woman? How about just tripping down the cannon? Be a warrior, jumping around and strumming, blah, blah, blah. Y'all come out, my dearest true Lavender Country. Sashing out, give our ways right. Whether you tuck in or dangle, when you hear that Friday tango, you just spread your spangled wings inside. So y'all come out, my dearest true Lavender Country. Y'all come out, make yourselves at home. It don't matter who you love or what you wear. We don't care who's got what growing on. So y'all come out, my dearest true Lavender Country. No, we're doing cocksucking tunes.
1, 2,
Let's do it.
3.
Fighting for when there won't be no straight men, 'cause you'll have a common sea. Thank you very much for loving and such, for shaking it regularly. Y'all write a story and tell their glory. Scalads gonna his name. But your lies can't deceive me. I know that you'll leave me crying these months again, kid. By now you have guessed that I'm not too impressed with your talents as an engineer. You held up just people, never had more people. Keep it erect in the air. It seems you've forgotten your daydreams are rotten, your ways are alarmingly clear. Then your victories ain't wanted, long as I'm haunted with crime, these thoughts again tears. Your victories ain't wanted, long as I'm haunted with crime, these thoughts again tears.
Carry and carry isn't quite carrying enough for as best as you. You're falling about, and you find out when it's really with you. How long you been thinking that you're crazy? Mine's and wife and your ring. Brian, these cops again too. Made a western roast and western. Brian, these cops again too.
Looks like your enjoyment when I'm employment. They are with your rose baby too. So you lost all your magic. You think that it's tragic. No one will come cry for you. Your sex is a broken record. Been street for 5,000 years. And the battle's answer, I tell you, I'm dumpster. Brian, these guys are in here. Battle's answer, I tell you, I'm all done, sir. Brian, these guys are in here.
All right. We're gonna sing a song about being othered, by being different, not quite accepted, kind of an outcast. This is a song about a biracial man in the 30s who was pretty much raised in a western town. He was also connected to Harlem. Bobby, I heard you wrote a poem about it.
Hey, long time ago, down Harlem way, I was born to a mother and a father that way. He was gone from San Antonio. While I was 12, I learned to run horses, learned how to rope just as well.
Out on the plain, down in Santa Fe, I met a cowboy, like the rainbow day, as a job along. I heard him singing a most peculiar cowboy song. It was a ditty, he lived in the city. Over the yaya, over the yaya.
Get along, no way. Get along, as a truck to the middle, I swinging around,
Singing a cowboy song, he's just too much. He's got a knocked-out western accent with a hard cut. He was raised on low wings. What you call a swing and beat. Singing this downtown beat in the strange way. T-I-I, T-I-I.
Get along. Get it, get along. Better get on your way. Get along.
Get here, live it up, yes, turn it on down. The old fair way, singing a cow, singing a string ring. It's our song, that's too much. He's a man, a western accent. Swing and free, singing this how I need in the strange way. That's it.
All right, that was Lavender Country, folks. Give it up in the comments. I gotta say, Patrick, it's good to hear your voice again, musically speaking.
Cow Boogie take you right on out?
What's that?
Did that Cow Boogie take you right on out? Huh?
It sounded good, my friend.
Who's next?
Oh, who is next? Let me bring it up. All right, next up, we have a artist known as Dani-Rae Clark. Dani-Rae Clark is a settler on unceded Cynics territory. They are a queer songwriter focusing mostly on haunted folk music. You can find them writing and playing for two queer folk bands, Ornery and Nellie Kane. You can also find their music on Bandcamp if you want to hear more. Oh, actually, they might not be in the backstage area yet. We might have to put Dani-Rae Clark on hold for a moment. Well, we're ahead of time. So, Patrick, is it all right if I do a little bit of anti-fascist vocabulary for folks while we're waiting for Dani-Rae to pop into our backstage?
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Hit it.
All right. For folks who might be new to liberation politics and anti-fascist action, there's a couple of phrases you might hear bopping around that you're not familiar with. Probably more than a couple. Two that I thought might be useful for folks to know about are the words direct action and praxis. Praxis is a word that you probably don't hear very often. It's an old Latin or Greek word, I think. It basically means the practical application of an idea or a theory. Like it's the difference between studying baking techniques and then actually baking. There's studying the game of chess, and then there's actually playing. So that's kind of what praxis means. Looks like Dani-Rae Clark just popped into the chat. So they're ready to play. I'll get to direct action later in the broadcast. Dani-Rae, are you ready? We got visuals. Do we have sound on Dani-Rae? I can't hear you yet. Oh, no. A little bit of technical difficulty.
Oh, it seems to be off.
There you go. All right.
You can hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. Dani-Rae, take it away.
Thank you.
Do you want to turn this?
Thank you, Patrick, and everybody in Lavender Country. Thank you so much for organizing this. My name's Dani-Rae Clark. Hi, Patrick.
Hi. I finally get to view you in the live after 10 billion emails.
Okay.
We're planning on doing a Canadian tour together with Dani-Rae Clark and Lavender Country. As soon as the COVID breaks and we have a chance to hit the road. And whenever it happens, my heart is beating madly, dear.
Thank you, Patrick. As soon as possible, I swear. Okay, thank you. I'm right now. I'm performing on unceded Cynics territory, and this first song is called Leaving Coeur d'Alene. I wrote it about, yeah, I wrote this song. I was thinking about how the hell did Trump get elected? And I was thinking about the role that heterosexual white women played in his election, and about how white supremacy and misogyny are this united front that are like here to destroy us all. And and so I wrote the song about this particular white supremacist compound in Idaho that has disbanded. But they were the largest white supremacist compound in North America for over 10 years, in a place called Hayden Lake outside of Coeur d'Alene. And this song is about a woman who grew up in that and finds herself married into it, and what she hopefully will do with that situation. I don't know what called you to me or why. On your back like a roach looking ready to die. Well, I can hear fire and smoke calling your name. Yeah, bring that terror on. Oh, no, Coeur d'Alene. You're just saying the same old things again. You're drunk and you're mumbling and you're stuck in your head. Well, ain't nothing different, ain't nothing the same. I tell you I'm leaving Coeur d'Alene. The new sheriff in Hayden, he's getting on fine. Well, he was run off the coast, but now he's with his kind. Ain't nothing different, ain't nothing the same. Yeah, bring that terror on. Home to Coeur d'Alene. You and the boys been building your fence real high. Walking around the compound with your guns at your side. But ain't nothing different. Yeah, you're just afraid. Yeah, bring that terror on. Home to Coeur d'Alene. Passing time looks like bruises, honey, or nightshade below my eyes. I've got nothing but time to lose, honey, oh, I need to scratch before I die. say you can get used to just about anything, but ain't nothing so cold as a wet rig. And the hate that you hold, and that shit that you pray, yeah, bring that terror on, won't go away. You've been putting me down all day. Put your hands on our sun one too many times. Well, I can hear fire and smoke calling your name. Yeah, bring that terror on, won't go away. I'm talking to God myself, honey. Oh, do you know what he says to me? That I've got nothing but an itch to scratch, honey. Oh, time to kill before we meet. You're just saying the same old things again. You're drunk and you're mumbling and you're stuck in your head. Ain't nothing different, ain't nothing the same. You're drunk and I hate you, and I'm leaving cold lane. I don't know what called you to me or why. Your last breath on your knees out between the pines. Well, I can see fire and smoke. 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 Thank you. I have a built-in audience also. The people who are gonna play with me now, come on up. Yeah, that song I forgot to say. I always script the introduction to that song because it gets so nervous. Oh yeah, take this. Somebody take that away, please. Yeah, it's about white terrorism, and I think that like I'm white, and I'm also from Idaho, and there's a I wanted to play that song, and I play that song to try and like bring awareness about the like growing white nationalist movement in the Pacific Northwest that is like a lot of times people talk about the South being like this really white supremacist place, but there's so much in the Pacific Northwest, and white terror is we know it's a real big fucked up thing. Come on down. And and also, this other song, this next song is by Lucinda Williams, and I'm playing it because I feel a lot of the time when I'm thinking about these things and specifically the prison industrial complex, it feels very like too big and too hard and like very crushing. And the song gives me a lot of hope because it really makes me feel like it is possible to dismantle these horrible things. This is Rena and Kian and Seed, and we're gonna sing a song by Lucinda Williams called Concrete and Barbed Wire. This wall divides us on two different sides. This wall is not real. How can it be real? It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Back in Algiers, my darling broke my heart. She can't seem to break down this wall. With two strong hands, she couldn't move it at all. But it's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Down in Appaloosa, the dogs are at the gate, and they're mean, Lord, they're mean. There's a wall between us, but it's not what it seems. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Somewhere in Louisiana, where sugar's doing time, she can't spend time with me. If she could get over this wall, she'd see it's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. Concrete and barbed wire. It's only made of concrete and barbed wire. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you. I think that might be my time. I think that I wish that I had a way of communicating with you guys so you could tell me if I agree.
Okay.
I don't know, is anybody else very bad at computers? This is my incredible tech support, Kian. Thank you.
Does it say in the chat?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell.
Doesn't say. Sorry.
All right, well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dani-Rae. That was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I love those harmonies.
Me too.
Uh,
Bye, Patrick.
See you in Canada land.
that was amazing. Were you listening to that set?
Oh, yes. I was highly tuned in because I'm going to be working with them up in Canada. I need to know what I've got in my hands.
I hope someday to cross paths with them because they're fantastic. Love that style.
Well, speaking of amazing,
yes,
our next act is truly amazing. It's Maurice Tracy.
Tell me
he's
about him.
He's going to be doing a monologue that you really want to hear. I heard it in St. Louis, and Maurice took me out. So I am reading from Maurice's bio, and I want you all to remember these are his words, not mine.
All right, hit me.
Maurice Tracy is a fat black femme, loving and fucking, laughing and crying, cooking and writing, and living in St. Louis. And so, Maurice, what do you have to tell us?
So thank you for that. I'm sorry, I always get a kick when other people have to read my bio because I hate writing bios. Yeah, so I think the only thing I have to say is one, forgive me if I don't make a lot of eye contact because in order to read this stuff, I mean, like I have to read it, so I have to go to a different screen, so I'm not really going to see anything. I will say this is actually some new stuff. So this is going to be, I guess, new to like everyone, including Lavender Country. So I just hope people enjoy it, I guess, or get whatever it is they're supposed to get from it. So whenever I'm supposed to start, I can start.
Take it away.
Hey, you're supposed to start, man. I love you, hit it.
Thank you. Okay, so it's just 3 relatively short pieces. I think maybe they kind of go together. I'm not really sure. So the first one is why you can't say the word nigga. Before you die, is there any chance that the last words you will hear will include the word nigger? No. Then you can't say the word. This is not about love. This is not about affection. This is not about friendship. This is about history and America, which is to say this is about death. Funny how when we think of death, we think of nothingness. We think of black, of a void. Yet when we are dying, we say, don't go into the light. But what is light other than overwhelming whiteness? So when you are dying and your loved ones are saying, don't go into the light, it is because at that very moment, even they, with their blonde hair and blue eyes, are admitting that whiteness is death. We face the light daily. It comes for us at every age. When we are 42, Kurt Reinhold, Orange County, jaywalking. When we are 30, Gregory Hill Jr., Fort Pierce, Florida, playing music in his garage too loud. When we are 23, Casey Godson Jr., Ohio, unlocking and entering his home. When we are 22, Joshua Feast, Lamarque, Texas, running away. When we are 18, Xavier Hill, Virginia, speeding. When we are 16, AJ Crooms, or 18, Sincere Pierce, Cocoa, Florida, trying to drive away from cops. When we are 12, Tamir Rice, Ohio, playing with the BB gun. When we are 7, Ayanna Jones, Detroit, sleeping on the sofa. We are hunted by the light in every place. When we are in our cars with our fiancés by our sides and our children in the back seat. When we are at funerals already surrounded by death. When we leave the corner stores. When we are in Walmarts. When we are walking home in our parents' neighborhoods that look a little too nice for us. When we are eating ice cream in our apartments, when we are sleeping in our own beds. And it will always be said that it is justified, that we were just too dark, too scary, too monstrous. And every jury will understand we are just too black. You with your investigation discovery shows and podcasts and 60-minute specials dissecting why you were taken away early, why you, such a bright girl, such a loving girl, such a caring girl, such a smart boy, such an all-American boy, such a fun guy, such a good mom, such a great dad were killed. It doesn't make sense. This is not supposed to happen to you. You are not, we are told, built for this. But neither are we. Neither is she. Neither is he. Neither are they. Neither are my parents. Neither are my brothers. Neither is the man I love. Neither is the man that I can't stand who hurt me. Neither am I. And yet it hangs over us, a threat, daily, the light. So no, you cannot say the word nigga. Not even if you have light-skinned babies. Not even if your best friend from preschool is darker than me. Not even if you know every lyric to every rap song ever. Not even if you sat with us at lunch, because this is not about love. This is not about friendship. This is not about affection. It is about death. So if you want to say that word, then make it so when asked this question, before I die, is it possible that the last words I will hear is someone calling me nigger? I can answer like you. No, it's impossible. Until then, you don't get to say that word. The next piece, I'm just going to go into it, is called Fucking in a Pandemic. And it's definitely very much a work in progress. I actually started it at a bar. So, all right. A stranger is coming over during a pandemic. We have fucked before. We have this routine down. He will come in and he will wear a mask, and I will be on the bed and I will wear a mask. We will never see each other's face. We will not kiss. He will poke at me until I open up. We will be safe. We won't even moan that loudly. We will fuck like we are doing something sinful, like we are scared. Of what? I think, while he is searching for something inside of me. A heart attack, stroke, drowning, a bullet by a cop, a choke by an ashamed lover, neglect. So many things could kill me. So why should I be afraid of a pandemic? What is different about death by a pandemic to a person for whom death has been their only constant lover? The stranger closed the door as he left, but he left parts of himself behind. As I pull off my mask and exhale, my phone vibrates. A text from him. Not simply saying he had a good time, he always has a good time, but one with a video. There, in my hand, proof that a white man had been inside of me. Evidence I never asked for. And I think, what is a pandemic? White men who learned how to name things without ever first being them. Human. White women who stood by and accepted tea and biscuits from their husbands' children, neither acknowledge. White people who believe it is better to ask for forgiveness before they ask for permission to do anything. Claim new lands, name lands that already had names because the name the land chose for itself was too difficult for white thin lips to say. Add peas to guacamole, withhold loans, require degrees while raising the cost to get them, record you without asking. My new lover has finished. I have not spoken to the old white one, but I still have the video. My new lover was young and new to everything, so when I go to the restroom to push out what he left behind and clean, I look and see he left me red from the inside. It is there on the paper, red and brown against white. the true American flag. God bless America, land of red and brown, blood and shit, blood and dirt, blood mixed in with the dirt, bloody shit, full of it, full up on it, so full it burbles, throwing up ancestors. The strange fruits who fed the roots, roots that seem to be choking everything above and below the soil, killing it all. A big giant magnolia tree with white flowers perfuming the air, blood and shit. America. That's a pandemic, baby. We've been in a pandemic since 1492 when some white man sailed the ocean blue and got lost. We have been paying for white men's stupidity and mediocrity for half a millennia. It's just that now, enough white people are dying too. And somewhere inside, that makes me smile. It makes me hum a tune. It makes me want to go to the river and see if the fish are jumping, to see how high the fluff is, to open my daddy's wallet and take out a few bills and buy an ice cream cone, to paint my mama's face and kiss her cheek and tell her Venus never had blonde straight hair, to drink sweet tea on a porch like it's 80 degrees out in June. What is a pandemic? And the last one is called Alpha and Omega. In the beginning is black. In the middle, color. In the end, black again. Everything fades to black in the end. Everything fades to black in the end. Everything fades to black in the end. I wonder, what must it feel like to be purple, yellow, red, blue, green, or even white, and know that in the end, you will not be separate. You will not be unique. You will come back to me, that from which you came. Thank you. That's pretty much everything. So, I don't know how to end this. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Maurice. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Where can folks find you on the internet, if you don't mind my asking?
I guess
If they can find you.
Instagram. I have an Instagram page called Blaqueer. It's BLAQUEER. And my Twitter is the same handle. That's pretty much it. I don't have a huge online presence.
That's all right. Takes all kinds. But we're glad that you dropped by our online presence to share your words.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Of course. Patrick, anything you want to say before we move on to our next artist?
You always take me around the bend, Maurice. I'm coming to St. Louis, and I'm going to plant you up on the stage again for a Lavender Country show. Are you up?
Yeah, of course. Just let me know, and I will definitely be there.
I'll be there with bells on, and you'll be the first thing on the stage.
Thank you so much.
I love you.
Love y'all both. Thank y'all, and y'all have a great night.
Take care. Solidarity. All right.
Well, we have a special treat for our last act.
Oh, we've got two more acts, Patrick.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I was ahead of my game.
That's all right. Next up, we've got one of my friends. Before we introduce Dan Burt, I did promise folks a quick rundown on direct action. So I'm just going to do a quick little vocab sequence right now before introducing Dan Burt. I hope that's okay.
I think we've got time.
Yeah, I think we're doing good on time. All right, so direct action. That's a phrase that gets tossed around in liberation political groups. Direct action is a particular kind of political activity. Whenever you're facing a big structural problem like hunger, housing, discrimination, There's a lot of different kinds of action you can take. You can vote someone into power. You could donate money to a place. But those type of actions don't get immediate results. You know what I'm saying? It takes a long time for those actions to become a change in reality. Direct action is a phrase that reflects things that have an immediate effect on someone's political reality. Like a strike has an immediate effect on people's workplace environments. Feeding the homeless has an immediate effect on people's well-being. So that's a phrase you'll probably hear bouncing around if you're getting involved in anti-fascist or liberation political circles. Just wanted to throw that out there for folks who might be new to this kind of thing. Okay, enough about that. Patrick, I'm just going to introduce Danbert, and then we'll get this set started.
Good, let's go.
All right. Danbert
Grab
No
the
Bacon, a member of the British anarchist punk rock band Chumbawamba since 1982. He moved to Twisp, Washington in 2007. He has since released a handful of albums working with many artists around the world, my humble self being but one of those, under the umbrella name The Axis of Dissent. Described as a mischievous political goblin, thespian punk elements and anarchist tendencies infuse much of his work. Danbert No Bacon, are you there? Bring him on screen.
Yes.
Excellent. It's good to see you, my friend.
You too.
Hi,
Yeah.
Amber.
Hey,
So you live in Twisp.
Twisp, yeah.
It's a fabulous place to isolate, hang out, and commune with. I've been there several times. It's over the top gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The snow's just melted in my yard, but it's sunny and blue out there.
I hope to get back to Twisp. Oh, sorry.
Say again.
How long have you been in Twisp?
Since 2007.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, as soon as this COVID breaks, maybe me and Aaron will run up there and see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be delightful.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right. Danbert, take it away.
Okay. So these songs are basically things I wrote during the Trump years, but they still have relevance. This one, Trump didn't really actually build much of his walls, but he sowed many existing divisions and made them worse, which is kind of like a classic fascist thing to do, divide and rule. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. So here's the thing, we got a situation. When El Presidente starts to sing the praises of divine kings, son of a disciplinarian, white guy Aryan, authoritarian, fascism by any other name. Precipitously dangerous as the bumper sticker says. Elect a clown, expect a circus. Elect a clown, expect an attempted coup. The return of the laughing policeman, armed with all the wherewithal in all the world, and he's building a wall, building a wall, building a wall to keep history out against the notion of a nation built on immigration. Building a wall, building a wall, building a wall, building a wall to keep the future out, using fear to shut out humanity by building a wall. So here's the thing, this is how it all begins. By inciting racial tensions, immigrant detention, family separation, child interrogation. Right here in Washington, a mile out of downtown Tacoma, manufacturing consent with 6 of sand, 1 of cement. First they come for the migrants who are forced to flee. Next they come for the dispossessed and the climate refugees. Next up, troublemakers, agitants and miscreants. And if you have a social conscience, then they'll come for you and me. Watch out for the tear gas, watch out for the billy clubs, watch out for the cops whose orders are to shoot first. Building a wall, building a wall, building a wall because they think they can, and they'll carry on as long as we let them build their wall. Building a wall, building a wall, building a wall because wealth is under siege. Down at the end of Wall Street, down at the end of Wall Street, down at the end of Wall Street, they're building a wall. Not big, not clever, a wall, let's say. Not now, not ever, a wall, no way. Not big, not clever, a wall, let's say. Not now, not ever, a wall, no way. 'Cause we're immigrant freaks and punks. Immigrant, beautiful punks. Immigrant, romantic punks. Immigrant, artful punks. Immigrant, sexy punks. Immigrant, clever punks. Immigrant, resourceful punks. Immigrant, human punks. Not big, not clever, oh, let's say. Not now, not ever, oh, no way. Yeah, well, you know, Black Clown Creep, even Bad Clown Biden, they say, well, we can't defund the police. And you say, why? And they just say, oh, well, because, but they're talking out of the Bad Clown pants. You know why, Mommy? Because, well, they've been defunding things for a long time. They defunded my school, and they defund people who protect our clean air and water, and they defund the post office, and they defunding the people who stop poison getting in our food, and they're defunding the IRS, so they only go after poor people, and they're defunding science and the arts, and because I've been researching it for me Zoom homework. They're defunding you, Mommy. Yeah, no, they are, because your wages, they haven't gone up in about 40 years, so they're defunding you. And because you lost your job and you lost your health insurance, they're defunding you like that as well. And if they wanted, they could defund my book crack. They could just pass a button. No, I'm just saying. Anyway, so in this world, in this country, especially in the United States, we have a situation where there is a distinct lack of separation between state and corporation, and the corporate world is very authoritarian in structure, and obviously has way too much power. The German industrialists supported Hitler because they would rather have Hitler than a socialist or a communist government. And the corporate Democrats joined with Wall Street and corporate big money to stop Bernie Sanders because they would rather have let Trump in again than have had a democratic socialist. So there's a lot of pushback we have got to get involved in there. Anyway, this is Corporageddon. Corporate social responsibility, you couldn't make it up. But some stupidly rich folks did as another way of cleaning up. Fairy tales of endless economic growth, approved by a think irony tank, an app designed to make the customer feel his new best friend is a bank. They're actors, for crying out loud, just trying to make an honest living. Jesus, even the dog is an actor, gave a dog a bone for not pissing. Readable small print comes in down the pipe. Big banks investing in scent pipeline, giving carbon another green lights. Does not reveal the callous meanness, the bullying or the threats that come as standard with the extortion and a lifetime of debt. No matter how much chump change it spends pretending to be our friend, a corporation, not our friend, and it will never be our friend. An inanimate entity with no sense of empathy, oblivious to all other externalities beyond shareholder maximization, ruthlessly rewarding its CE jokers. So life and liberty, the pursuit of happiness translates as meaningless for the rest of us by extraordinarily rendering us as potential probable collateral damage. Corporate lawyers generating loopholes on an industrial scale, cause there ain't no business like bad crime, business like business as usual. No matter how much it bends over backwards pretending to be a friend, corporation not our friend, and it will never be our friend. Against the planet and crimes against humanity, for throwing caution to the wind and oil on the fire, for mortgaging our future for a few dollars more, for randomly poisoning everything it touches and saddling us all with the bill. Are we feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we from feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we mother gutting for the muck? Feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we unfriending it and dismembering it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Are we feeling it yet? Or will the bank foreclose on our final breath? Most of these songs are written as duets. So because of COVID, my regular singing partner, Kira Wood-Kramer, can't be here, but you hear the full picture on the records. Anyway, so yeah, I was in a band called Chumbawamba. We formed in 1982 and began touring Europe, I guess, in the mid-80s, and particularly going to Holland and what was then West Germany, before the Berlin Wall came down, playing in West Berlin. And we ended up playing a lot of anti-fascist benefits because anarchists and socialists in West Germany were very conscious about the presence and, of course, the history of fascism. And then, so we were very inspired by their direct action and campaigning. And we wrote this song, which, unfortunately, I mean, it's still probably more relevant today than it was then. It's called The Day the Nazi Died. We're taught that after the war the Nazis vanished without a trace, but battalions of fascists still dream of a master race. The history books, they tell of their defeat in 45. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. While Hess remained in prison, then the fascists, they were beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies. That one also meant to be sung by an a cappella group of at least 3 people. Anyway, so the last song I have for you is basically called GOP Spells. And as we know, the GOP is in kind of a state of chaos as it races towards trying to grab onto that Trump base. So it's desperately falling over itself to become more authoritarian and more fascist. So Democrats, they basically have a choice. They can do things that are really popular across the board, across voters of both parties and independents, like Medicare for all, minimum wage, legalizing marijuana, getting rid of student debt, Green New Deal, gun control, etc. Or they can do what they normally do, which is what the corporate Democrats like doing, is just pretend things are, the status quo is doing its job, which obviously it's not. And if they do that, if they do not get rid of the filibuster, then basically they're opening the door towards the next authoritarian GOP fascist who probably will be a bit more clever than Trump was about it. And that is a choice. And we have a choice to push back and to push progressive Democrats and corporate Democrats to look, just help people out and be popular. And then we won't have to worry as much about fascists taking power, political power. Another race hate shooting, a congressman on his thoughts and prayers tells us this is the price of freedom in the land of the bullet, home of the billionaire, where freedom is just another word for daylight, robber baron robbery, land grab, power grab, care of the GOP spells gutting our planet, grand old parties gutting our planet, gang of predators are gutting our planet. it means they don't give a damn about you or me. Mean being the operative word here, a mean Mother Earth mocking democracy. 'Cause if it ain't fixed, they break it. If it ain't fixed, they break it. Gutting our planet. GOP spells gutting our planet. Grand old parties gutting our planet. Gang of predators gutting our planet. Can't see the wood for the burning trees, for the naked profitability. Can't see what ordinary people need. It offends their neo-Nazi morality. Fake compassion for the unborn child, yet lacking the basic empathy to provide even for their own children a habitable ecosphere when there is no planet B. 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 Gutting our planet. GOP spells gutting our planet. Grand old parties gutting our planet. Gang of predators is gutting our planet. Feudal patriarchy gutting our planet. Grabbing power and gutting our planet. Sucker Democrats are gutting our planet. For grievous, obscene profits, there is no planet B. Vote progressive, act imperative, there is no planet B. Never again is now, there is no planet B. Vote progressive, act imperative, there is no planet B. Never again is now. 'Cause if not now, if not now, if not now, then there won't even be a when. Cool. Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks Lavender Country, Dani-Rae Clark, Maurice Tracy, I guess Grover up next. Thanks to Aaron J. Shea for putting this on the Anti-fascist concert series. A great thing.
Thank you, Dan Bird.
Cool.
That was delightful. All right. Patrick, we've got one more act for y'all. Ooh, before we move on,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Hey, for our last act, we have a special treat. It's a band from Grove, and they are currently in their home in Ballarat, Australia. It's in the state of Victoria, not too far from Melbourne. Grove is a rock folk band based in Ballarat, influenced by regional landscapes. That's cool. The way we connect or struggle to as people, a vision world from a distant lens. Grove is an intimate glimpse into a collaboration by friends with the intention of exploring music and learning from other than formed out of spite for elitist cis het boy bands. It's an act of defiance.
I can get behind that.
And let me repeat that. Formed out of spite for elitist, cis, het, boy bands. Grove is an act of defiance.
Solidarity. Oh,
Hey, are y'all ready?
Hello.
Hey,
hello.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see
there you
you.
are.
So close. to
Hey,
away.
we have a dream.
We do have a dream.
Someday Lavender Country is gonna go to Ballarat.
You're gonna play on the stage.
And these lovely people are gonna back me up, and we're going to do an Australia tour. Hey, you gotta have a dream, right?
You gotta have a dream, indeed.
If you don't have a dream, you can't have a dream come true. So here is the act of defiance. Grove, all the way from Ballarat, Australia.
Hit it.
Yay! Hit it.
Cool. So before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the land on which we are streaming on, and pay respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And I would also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander or any other First Nations people watching today. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have existed for over 65,000 years in harmony with the land, and I acknowledge the connection and understanding First Nations people have with this land and the enriched songlines which First Nations people are still fighting to be preserved. Sovereignty is not conceded, and this land which I live and walk always is, always was, and always will be Aboriginal land. luckily in Australia, gigs have actually opened back up and we're doing pretty well. This feels really mean to say, talking to Aaron about how America's going at the moment. Exciting to hear the vaccination is rolling out though. Patrick sent me a nice photo of him and his husband after he got vaccinated. It was the best email I've ever had in my life. Yeah, we're not exactly very vocally anti-fascist in our music, but I'd like to mention that I guess being a queer person and not a dude, it's pretty important to have that representation and sort of, as Patrick was saying when he read out my bio, bless him, yeah, it's sort of like an act of defiance, and representation matters, and if I can play songs, then it might be nice, and someone else might be like, oh, I can do that too, because they're not just watching the same white cis-het boy bands. This next song is a cover by, we're not Paul Kelly, but it's a song by Paul Kelly called From Little Things Big Things Grow, about land rights, which were obtained in 1976 for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Obviously there's still a big battle with that at the moment. It's ongoing with lands being distributed to the wrong people or not at all, and selling land that's not ours. And I guess currently what's happening in Australia, there's a large amount of deaths in custody, with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people only being 3% of the population. They're widely represented in our prisons and in jail, and we hate that. Fuck prisons, fuck cops. Funny enough, we're like looking at some graffiti outside that someone's just sprayed ACAB on the side of this old train station, which is sick, and I wish you could see it, but you know it's there, so that's all that matters. Yeah, there's been 437 deaths in custody since 1991, and that's only the stat from June 2020, like what the amount was. I remember at the Black Lives Matter rally, people had signs with the amount of people that have died in custody, and that day there was more added to the list, which was really tragic. So yeah, I guess this song is just a little bit of a glimpse for all you folks in the States of what's happening over here. It sounds, from talking to Patrick, very similar. Yeah. Stand for doing this whole thing. It's been really awesome. I've been loving waking up. It's a Sunday over here. It's a Sunday at about 10:16ish. So we got up bright and early for sound check, which was really fun. Never again. No, it's been very lovely, and I feel very honoured to be a part of this. It's very cool seeing all the like grassroots activism that happens over in the States, and there's a bit that happens in Australia, but I'm very inspired by the work of people over there, and yeah, it's been awesome to be a part of this project. Cool. Our next song. Yeah, I guess this next song is very, very, very vaguely, but when I was writing it, I was thinking about like climate change and how it's really hard to stay motivated and actively participate in the world when you've sort of got this like crushing weight on your shoulders. But I don't know, it's a bit sad, but that's okay. And I'd also like to mention we can't have climate justice without Indigenous justice first. As I sort of mentioned before, First Nations people had 65,000 years to learn how to care for this land properly, and it's about time that we listen to them. This is a new song, clearly. That's it, we got it! If it grows from beneath my skin and eats my flesh, do the winds still blow against the window? If I this is our last song. Thank you so much for sharing this our first stream with us. This is really nice. Yeah, big thank you again to Lavender Country and Aaron and Jack and everyone else that has played today. It's been really cool to see music that obviously we can't travel to see at the moment, so that's really nice. Hopefully, maybe one day we will. Hopefully one day soon. We'll all be together. Comrades, watching music, overtaking capitalism. It'll be sick. It's afternoon over in the States, so have a lovely afternoon. And hello to any Australian followers that might be watching today.
Thank you so much for that. Was fantastic. How you feeling, Patrick? Oh, there, we can hear you. Oh, wait, you might be on mute again. Grove, how can folks find you online?
We don't have anything out at the moment.
Are you
We're
there?
recording in June.
Hey, you guys.
Hello, how's
Hey,
it going?
Patrick.
Hi. Oh, my stupid sound went out in the middle of a thing.
Oh no.
Ah, boo hiss.
I'm sure.
Hey, that's all right. I was really glad to make all of your acquaintance. I can hardly wait to get to you. We'll have a couple of days to pull our raggedy self together, and then we'll hit the road.
Woo!
Yay!
I want to believe.
Hey, it might not happen. I know all that,
But it might happen.
but it might.
We'll do
Right?
everything in our power to make it
You got
happen.
might and you got might not.
If not, I'll just take you around.
Hey, I'm going to be 77 my next birthday. I'm going for might. Yeah.
You've got it in
Hope
you.
in the heart. It would be so fabulous.
It would be so fabulous.
And it'll happen. Now, you two guys, tell me who you are.
I'm Josh.
I'm Matt.
Josh.
And Matt.
What's your name?
Matt?
I'm not getting
Yeah,
it.
the sound
Matt.
is going in and out.
My sound is. Hey, I didn't get the sound. That's all right. I'll remember the look, darling.
We're missing DM member
That'll work.
Fletcher's normally around. And we
Uh,
tried to get Connor to come, but he was unwell, so he couldn't make it.
Ah, that's too bad.
Anti-fascist concert series. It's a little raggedy, but we've done numerous shows, and all of them have went pretty good. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
we're getting out there fighting fascism the best way we know how. So that's all we can do, right? But I'll be glad to see you in Ballarat. Hey, how far is Ballarat from Melbourne?
It's about an hour and a half.
I didn't get it.
It's all right. There's a bit of an echo, I think, on someone's line, but that's just the nature of the electronic beast. I
How
think.
far it is?
150 kilometers.
Oh, never mind.
What's that in miles?
You're
I don't know miles.
Miles. It's about an hour and a half.
It's what?
under 50
About an hour and a
kilometers.
half.
Oh, under 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can pick me up. You can pick us up at the Melbourne airport
I will carry
and
you in
whisk
my
us away
arms
to
back
Ballarat
Ballarat,
and nothing
Patrick.
flat. Is that it? Okay, good.
Oh, before you go, Grove, drop a link that people can find you when you can release some music.
Yeah, shall do.
We are on Facebook and Instagram if people want to follow us.
Yeah, just Grove Band, I think is under.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
got
I'll
that logo.
put a little link in.
All right, drop a link in there. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us. Really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love.
Have a great morning.
Have a great afternoon. Bye.
Go ahead and close out the show.
All right. If y'all have been enjoying this, feel free to drop by paypal.me/AaronJShay and throw some tips for our artists. Me and Patrick don't take a cut of the tips. We just pass it on to the performers because it's been a hard year to be an artist and we just want to support people as best we can. That's again, paypal.me/AaronJShay. I have been your co-host, Aaron J. Shea. And Patrick, you want to?
I'm Patrick. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, it was another grand show. I liked everybody a lot,
Yeah, and y'all did a great job.
especially Maurice. Maurice is my new heartthrob.
Lavender Country is pretty damn good too.
So, hey, I'm going to step out of this and close down because the sound is just too raggedy.
All right, we'll see you
Thanks
next
for
week.
coming, and we'll see you next week.
Same anti-fascist time, same anti-fascist channel. Take care, everybody.